people of the world.
You are watching 100 Degree TV on YouTube. Here is what you missed on the 100 Degree Show with Birch Harris.
So the knowing is akin to the healing, as the healing is akin to the sanctification. I want to say this. In the 5 sense reality, we find that 5 sense reality, that reality of gauges, that reality of assessing situations based on our sight, our taste, our touch, our smell, and our hearing, that reality is to some degree obscured because of sin, because of the sin dysfunction that's in the realm of our reality. This is what we fell into. So the things from the spiritual perspective of who we are, unless we tap into it, we embrace it, and we begin to live from it, I don't personally believe that it's until that point that we begin to nullify our senses and render what our spirit, through our senses, is actually gauging. It may be factual because it is going on around us, but it's not true to who our nature, what our nature is, and what we've been connected to, and what we've been really created to do. So factual information can, for all intents purposes, be a lie, because it goes against the truth of who we are and what we've been created to do. So we find the consistent debate about, well, are you going to deny the science? Well, science consistently change. The facts and the data of science consistently change. And that becomes the reality that we are living in. So the facts and the science isn't necessarily the truth. It's just a gauge or a measuring rod to something that's more eternal and something that's more real than we have seemingly had the ability to address and embrace the way we should have, because that's where we came from. So it's kind of like this. It's kind of like, well, you started a business, you started a corporation, and there's a mission statement, there's a vision statement as to why you were incorporated and what you were intended to do, and how you were going to go about doing your business. So you and your business partner or business partners, plural, everyone was in agreement to this plan. And in the process of that, a few situations, a few circumstances happened in life, like i.e. the pandemic, things of that nature. And it forced and it caused the vision and the mission to be changed. Now, at that juncture, even though it is a corporation, even though it's a business and it's functioning as such, the mission and the vision has changed, and it's no longer operating in the capacity in which it was created to function. Facts came along. Well, we can't deny the pandemic. We certainly can't. But now it has forced you to pivot and to do business in a way that you weren't intended to do business. We'll just say this for all intents and purposes. Well, you were supposed to be some type of business that interacts with people, and that was the main backdrop. That was the foundation of what the business was founded on. Whatever the product or service that you created, it was supposed to deal and interact with people on a very large scale, because that's where the product or the service was basically maximized, and the customer, they got the best out of the product or service. But the pandemic happened, right? And everybody had to retreat to indoors and to staying away from each other, and your business suffered. But in the process of that, you came up with another plan to keep the business going, hoping that you can pivot back to the place where your business was intended to, but it never really ever happened. So now, for all intents purposes, you're in business, you're living life, you're doing the things, but your purpose, it's not what it was originally. You've got a different purpose, but you're still calling yourself X, Y, and Z business that does X, Y, and Z 1, 2, 3 things. And technically speaking, that's a lie. So this is where we're going with the complete healing. This is where we're going with the sanctification. This is where we're going with the fact that because it looks like something, it doesn't mean that it is at the core. Now, the business is making money. Hand over fist. Right? Never mind, the mission and the vision has changed. Everything is, for all intents purposes, where a business is concerned from a profitability standpoint, the business is doing lovely. It's doing great. But it's not in its original purpose. It's not doing what it was intended to do. So many of us, our lives are like this. We're doing good on face value. We've got money in the bank. We've got resources. We're on the up and up. But we're not in purpose. We're not in step with what we were created to do. And it's in this place that we can find that the Most High said, "Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. I never knew you." Because what you were created to do, you aren't doing that. You might be successful in some other area, but you're not successful at who you were created to be. So technically, for all of the marbles in the game, you're living a lie. And people would say, a lie or shmai. Go eat a pumpkin pie. I'm making money. I'm paying my bills. I'm doing what I'm doing. What do you want from me? But God doesn't look at it like that. God doesn't look at it like that. So I want to wrap it up on this thing here, because the purpose and the intention of who we were created to be, if we're not living in that, then it becomes a situation where we're living a lie. And it doesn't matter how much, we've got and where we live, where we don't live. None of that stuff matters as it relates to purpose.
Thank you for watching 100 Degree TV on YouTube. Please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to this channel if you find our content valuable, and be sure to join us for the next presentation.